On this episode of Guidefitter, the turkey tour begins.
Tornado warnings in effect for this area.
Yeah, we need to roll.
Lenny and Jerry don't guide turkey hunters, so they're taking a couple of weeks and traveling across country, chasing longbeards in Kentucky, Missouri, and Kansas.
So how much is it gonna take?
Keep quiet.
Yeah.
Now that I'm the hunter, I can always blame the guide. I love that.
It's been so long, those long hard days. They don't say God's changed my ways, 'cause I ain't changed my ways.
After a successful week of turkey hunting in Ohio, the guys were packing up the truck and heading west to their first stop of the turkey tour, Kentucky, where they will be hunting with King's Country Outfitters.
Hey Josh, good to see you. Beautiful place.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
It's nice.
Okay. Safe travels.
A little longer than we expected.
Josh Ager.
Jerry Blake.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, Josh.
So, from here to Ohio, from Ohio to here, I guess.
It's only supposed to be 5.5 hours, so we hunted up there this morning. He had another tag, and
Feel it?
No.
They're gobbling on the roost a lot, flying down, and they're finding the hens quick, and there's a period there, you know, so they're locking up and breeding, and then, you know, midday breaking loose again.
Yep.
So get your stuff, get in, and get settled.
All right. Let me just pitch that somewhere.
You've got plenty.
while we were getting unpacked, Josh's dad rolled up. He's going to be guiding Jerry on this hunt.
The sun was going down fast, so Josh wanted to try to roost some birds before dark.
There'll be a lot of times now, you know, we might hit a day where they're just not gobbling for some reason, and you'll hear two, or one, or none, or then you'll hit a day where there'll be 10. All right. We got probably about 3 different gobblers located in a group of hens.
Going into the first day of a hunt, if I'm the hunter, I'm constantly picking my guide's brain, trying to find out a little bit of information about the area that we're hunting. The way it looks here in Kentucky, the birds are pretty henned up. So right off the bat, early in the morning, might be our best bet.
After a little bit, the bird just kind of shut up, and a lot of times that means that's when they're starting to get close and they're gonna come in silent. So we're just sitting there motionless, and all of a sudden, Ben, my cameraman, goes, there he is, right in front of us. The tom crosses the 2-track and comes into the same side of the woods that we're set up on, and I've got him. I tell Ben, and Ben's like, no, I'm not on him. And this tom goes back and forth, like 5 times, and he's like 20 yards away, so he's wondering where the hen is. He can hear the clucking, but can't find a hen. Finally steps back out onto the 2-track, and I'm on him again. Ben can't get him, and just at that time, the tom figured out that something was wrong, headed back in the woods, and that morning hunt was over.
I had a split-second shot. I was on him for a split second when he's going across the road. Yeah, I could see the camera, and I saw a bird go through the camera when he was heading back that way. You did a perfect job of calling right to us. I just think he could hear us talking. But what a great morning. I mean, we heard probably, 4 different gobblers.
On the neighboring farm, Lenny and Josh weren't having quite as much action.
Let's think about this, okay? The days are really long. They don't have antlers. And spurs. And their brains are that big. And they make us look like a bunch of fools. Exactly. gobbling at everything but turkey calling. Now that I'm the hunter, I can always blame the guide. I love that.
It hasn't worked out this morning the way we wanted it to, and it's frustrating when you have this, when you envision this perfect scenario and things seem to be working that direction, and it all kind of falls apart. And, it's different when you have the expectations on you to make the scenario work for someone else, and you have the pressure, and you're supposed to be the guide with all the right answers, and sometimes those answers just aren't the right ones.
Weather's great, perfect. It was a little cold this morning, but they were going nuts the first hour this morning. And for whatever reason, like turkeys do, or elk, or anything else that you're trying to call, they've just completely shut up, and we're just easing up this creek bottom. And Josh is calling periodically, and just sign everywhere, just we're at a point where they're not talking. So I think we're going to get some lunch here before long. The great thing about Kentucky is we can hunt them all day, so we'll be back out this afternoon.
Tactic that I've used in the past, I've kind of nicknamed it walking and talking, because that's basically what I'm doing. The sound of me walking through the leaves and the brush or whatever kind of mimics the sound of a hen moving along, and I call as I'm going. And a lot of times, I mean, you may walk past a few birds on your way to locating one, but as soon as you get close enough to one that's ready, it seems like he'll open up and give you an opportunity to set up on him.
Try to get him up on one of them two-jers wherever he's comfortable. I'd like to have that big tree to conceal your silhouette, Hopefully he'll come along this field edge or skirt this hillside.
Well, we tried to make a move where we'd have better sight. I guess the rustling in the leaves of us moving around here, the bird just come on and moved our way, and we no more sat down. I started to call, and I saw his red head pop up just out on the field edge. I don't know, I guess we weren't completely settled, and he caught some motion, something he didn't like, because he just moved right back out of my sight.
I've guided turkey hunters before, but it's not what I do. And in elk hunting, we have, days just like this where you've been watching and seeing elk for days on end, and then all of a sudden you don't see them, you don't hear them. A lot of times we associate that with the weather, the barometer. How do you look at that with turkeys, like what we're going through today? What's your idea why they turned off today?
There's the same thing, barometric pressure, plays into it. I've never been one to sit there and look at numbers and figure that out. It's just, I know there's changes in barometric pressure and change in the amount of gobbling you hear, but I think a lot of it's a breeding cycle. I think sunny days you hear less gobbles. I just do. There's ebb and flow with it, just like there is anything. It's frustrating. You get out here and move from ridge to ridge and call, and you just want one tom to fire back at you, and you can't even get one. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Their eyesight's so keen, you walk over the next ridge, there might be two toms sitting there strutting, but by the time you get up to them, if they don't gobble, you don't know they're there, you can bust them out. And so it's kind of tough hunting when you can't hear anything. You're walking around blind, basically.
Day 2, we were fighting some pretty bad weather on and off all day long. And by afternoon, there were some pretty heavy storms rolling in.
On our way out here tonight, it was looking like a perfect situation. It's warm, 75, sunny, humid. Got a great setup. It was pretty calm. Within the last half hour, this thunderstorm rolled through. Temperatures have cooled down to probably about 40 degrees. The wind's blowing about 30. Thunder and lightning behind us. I'm thinking we're gonna call it quits. Head back to the lodge. Man. Hey! Holy crap, did you hear that? Josh just pulled up to us. I told you it was getting bad out here and we were just gonna head back to the lodge. Well, Josh just pulled up in the Ranger here, and I guess we got severe tornado warnings in effect for this area, so what do you say?
Yeah, we need to roll.
The storms are coming, and they're coming fast.
There's tornado warnings going on. As you can see from the pickup, it is hailing a lot. We were only planning on spending a couple days in each state. Kentucky, we didn't get a bird killed. Jerry had an opportunity, just didn't pan out. So we're back to packing the truck up, and we're headed to Missouri.
Tom's gonna be my guide for the week, and we hit it off right off the bat.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
He's an older gentleman, and I wasn't really quite sure what to expect. I'm kind of a fast-paced, run 'em and gun 'em type of guy. And on our way in the morning, we were walking real slow, and we stopped for, a couple minutes several times, and I'm just kind of wondering to myself, what's going on here? After I thought about it, is going in there quiet and slow is going to make more sense than hurrying up, trying to get to your spot and making a bunch of noise.
Tom's got us out here in this hedgerow, sitting in a blind. It's a pretty sweet setup. We heard like 3 different gobblers going this morning, but as soon as it got pretty light, they just all shut up.
We heard a lot of gobbles back here behind where we set up this morning, back in the woods here. So we're up on the north side of it, and we're just gonna work our way through the woods, see if we can't get set up on another one.
Nothing's gobbling, everything's pretty quiet this morning, so we're gonna come back here and hunt in the morning, down on the bottom again. So we don't really want to spook nothing. We already had one bird fly off, and it's really loud. Everything's dry. Bunch of deer running around up here, so we're just gonna go ahead and back out.
Jerry's morning has been pretty slow, but his guide Tom thought it would be a good idea for him to sit until 1 o'clock.
You don't mind sitting,
Not at all.
I kill more birds this way, and I do running around over the hillsides, know. So,
Yep.
and I know it's gonna be easier on him carrying that camera.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Oh, he's nice and concealed in there.
Yeah.
We called it a morning and headed back to the lodge. We were trying to get in a much-needed power nap. Brad comes walking in, he says, "Hey Lenny, you want to go kill a bird?" Well, of course. He found one in a real good spot and said he was killable, and his hunter gave him the go-ahead to take me in to try to get him killed.
I hope this works out, guys. But I can't see not trying it.
No,
If you have the birds in the field, why would you?
Exactly. Maybe in between them 2 big oak. Right on the fence. Yeah, just right on the fence, just on this side. Because he's just right on top of that knoll. Okay. Then I'm just gonna stay back here in the back and try to call him. He's right on top of that hill.
We've been out with Carl all morning, and they're running around
We were beat, the birds weren't talking. We knew we're somewhere, we were spooking. So we decided to head back, take a nap. Brad comes in and wakes us up like 20 minutes later. He saw some birds. His hunter had some health issues, wasn't able to go. He said, "Are you guys interested?" We came out here with him, worked this bird 20 minutes. Brad caught him right up here 25 yards and we just smoked him.
Yeah, when the young boys go to take a nap.
Thank you.
The old timers are still there.
Still kicking while we're done.
I can still do it. Yes, I guess we can. Good Lord.
Mask.
Good Lord.
He took it in the face.
Good. There's a 2-year-old bird.
And that just goes to show, you know, this morning they were going just crazy off the roost for us and Carl, and they shut up. We got in the timber after some. We spooked some. We were running deer around. We decided to back off because we knew they were going to stay there for the morning. But I mean, it just goes to prove if you just hang out and
I always say, you know, you get to where them hens are laying eggs now, and you get this time of day after 10:30, 11 o'clock, and the hens are gone usually. We all look good then. We all look and sound good then.
On another farm, Jerry's all-morning sit has turned into a midday snooze, and it may cost him his chance at a gobbler. Ben was doing everything he could to wake Jerry up without spooking the gobbler off. After a couple of minutes, Jerry finally woke up and realized what was going on.
Where is he?
You told me it was going to get good, but you didn't tell me it was going to get that good. You should have told me not to go to sleep.
Well, I know, but I didn't know you still take a nap. Got good in a hurry, didn't it?
So how much is it going to take?
Keep quiet.
Yeah.
You can't keep it quiet. It's on film. It's on film.
You got to at least wait until I leave Missouri.
I won't say anything. I never say anything when somebody misses. I don't. It's up to them to say that.
You know how much they're going to bust my chops for the rest of this trip, don't you?
No, I have no idea.
Do you know how much these guys bust my chops as it is?
I know there's a good reason.
My camera guy screwed up.
You'll have that. Especially
Did he flinch?
Did he bump your arm with the camera?
Yeah, to wake me up.
Uh-oh.
Jerry complains a lot that we're always busting his chops, but you got a gobbler standing 20 yards in front of your blind and you're sleeping? What else are we to do? The next morning, Carl and I were working a bird on a field edge and we got a coyote coming to us. You know, we shot this coyote this morning on this turkey hunt, and some guys may be wondering why you'd risk ruining your turkey hunt. Personally, I don't care. I would much rather shoot this coyote and get him out of the ecosystem. You hear a lot about it, what they're doing with the turkeys and the deer, the fawn survival and all that. So for me, it's more important to help put back, so to speak, by getting rid of one of these predators than it was focusing on the turkey this morning, and I couldn't be happier the way it turned out. After Missouri, we were scheduled to head down to Kansas to hunt with Jacob from Kansas Whitetail Addictions and more. I just happened to get a phone call from him right before we were ready to leave, and I'm sure glad I did.
Last week was pretty slow. I don't know, between what we killed and just the weather and the birds catching on to us, it's been slim pickings. I don't know. I mean, you're welcome to come give it a shot, but it's going to be tough. I mean, I know how hard it is to make a show with turkey hunting, but I just want to give you a heads up. Like I say, you're more than welcome to do whatever you want to do.
Well, we were looking forward to coming down, but you're the guide, man. If you say it's not worth it, then it's no point in us wasting our time or your time, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. I think if we can get you guys in there a little bit earlier, maybe next year, we can do really good. If you want to wait till next year, that's cool, and we'll just get after the whitetails here in a few months.
Well, good enough. I appreciate you calling and letting us know what's going on, and we'll just keep in touch the next couple months, and then we'll see you in November.
Sounds good.
What's great about the hunting community, it's like we're one big extended family. It was awesome. Jacob gives us a call, says, hey guys, it's not worth coming down here to hunt turkeys right now. He didn't want us to waste our time or our money. But you can bet one thing, come November 8th, I'm gonna be down in Kansas hunting with Jacob for a big Kansas whitetail.
Come on, guys. Get one. Thanks. The only thing I told him was his calling sucked. He didn't know what he was doing. He turned and walked off.